everybody, I am Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today, oh, well, that's really lovely. I like that. So today has been brought to you by Magic, as you can see. So guys, I am going to be showing you as patrons how to draw in the Fire Fairy for the upcoming lesson. This is just a little extra perk for patrons. I miss you guys. I so appreciate your support. I'm going to be doing more and more for you guys like this, where you guys can maybe get some behind the scenes, see some concept stuff. This particular piece is being done on Artistico 100% cotton Fabriano paper, 140 pound, 9 by 12 in a block. I'm going to be using our 6B pencil, and I actually, in this case, want the lines. So I'm going to open this up and put this down and make sure there's no weird little hairs. We have a dog that sheds now. The other dog had hair, but this new dog has fur. So that means there's fur everywhere. So I want to set in the face, and I'm doing a fantasy face, which means for me that I don't have to follow the exact rules of portraiture, but I can use them to help me create a better face. So I'm going to come in, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set how much space I want my face. John, how much space I want my face. John is here. He's just quietly sitting at the...
I was slightly muted. I'm going to make some adjustments so we can see this here on the fly with the patrons.
Yeah,
Because
it's
the
because this is like I just right before the video said, how about we like show the patrons how to draw this?
I think I know what to do. I'm going to adjust the camera above you just down a second.
Just down a second
Yeah.
for these guys, and then we'll put it back up. And so I've given myself some room from the head to the top of the paper, from the chin to the bottom of the paper, and from the middle to the sides of the paper. And the reason that I've created this space here, which is kind of like not that dynamic, it's fairly centered, is so that I have rooms for the ears effect, rooms for the sort of wing botanical little neckline, and have also room for our hair effect. You know, so hopefully these are popular because I really like doing them and it would be fun. Now, normally when you're doing portraiture, you divide the face in half this way, and I think that's still important. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of divide my face in half a little bit. It's very light, right? And you would set the eyes at the halfway point, and then the nose at the halfway point, the chin at the halfway point. But we do want to exaggerate a couple of things because this isn't a human. This is a fae being, which is totally different. I will go ahead and give myself a line for the eyes, right? Because that gives me lots of dynamic room for the ears. They're going to be wider apart than normal. So between the nose, usually do an eyes width, but we're going to set it out a little further just to create that sense of being uneven. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you guys a tip when you're doing an eye. Do the hard eye first. Okay, so I'm weakest on my left eye and strongest on my right eye because I'm right hand dominant and I tend to be stronger on that side. So what I'll do is I'll do my weakest side first and then come back because it'll be easier for me to match it over here. I'm going to bring this up at kind of an extreme angle, right? A little more than we would do for a regular eye. I'm going to come down a little lower and even kind of come in a bit, right? So I'm exaggerating some elements of this eye in its placement in the head, right? So these are things that will take it out of the feeling human and go into the more feeling otherworldly or supernatural. And I think sometimes fairies and mythical creatures are a little bit, see how it's just a lot easier on the other side. Just matching them up. So I've got some nice width there. That's already a little bit like, woo, isn't it? I feel like it is. So I'm going to come down a little bit further than I normally would for my little nose, placing it down just a little bit below the halfway point. Still pretty close, but just a little below. I'm going to make a little round ball and come and make a little side ball. They're kind of angled out a little bit. Then I will go ahead and make sure that I place my nostrils in here. And it's okay that I have pencil lines because, again, in this style, I want my pencil lines, I want my pen lines, I want all these little architectural elements that help create and control the piece. I'm going to come up here and I will broaden the forehead out this way. I'm using the nose to help me determine that part of the line of the face. up into this part of our fire fairy. And then I'll go ahead and join these up. So now we're getting a very kind of interesting, exaggerated little face. I'm going to come below the lip. I'm in the nose and start the lip. And I think I'm going to want a bit of maybe a smile. So right here at the center, goes up and then over to the side. See how we did that? Counter curves. Down, up, over. Pretty big, pretty exaggerated. There we go. Nice big top lip, a little bit exaggerated. Keep refining that. And that's the other nice thing about that kind of work where I can just refine it and the pencil's okay. It's okay that the pencil's going to show through the paint. Everything won't be messing with it. Put a smaller little lip down here. Curve join to the face. And now here by the eye, I'm going to actually kind of exaggerate the cheekbone into that smile line. So we're exaggerating the cheekbone into that smile line and refining the chin a little bit down. So again, just enforcing it's a face, but there are elements of this face that feel quite otherworldly. It's going to be fun with ink in the eyes. Now, I'm still going to use this part of the face to determine the ears. And I'll go ahead and draw a little line up. Little line up. And this will be almost like, they're like almost like a wing, but it's not going to be totally like a wing. But we're going to do some little wing-like elements to that. See how we're going? So just little bits of that sort of fairiness, right? I'm going to create an elongated and thinner neck than you might expect. And then coming from below the viewer point, I'm going to bring up what will be like, they'll be almost like wing shapes themselves. I'm going to sort of sketch this over. And again, if this isn't something that you want to do, you'll be okay because we're going to have a traceable. I just want you guys to see sometimes how I think about what's happening. Now I'm going to want to have hair coming down this way. And we're going to maybe do sort of an upward kind of crazy little hairstyle. Maybe even going off the page a bit. You know, because why wouldn't you? Exaggerate that here. You know, I've got little smudges of pencil, and it's going to actually kind of disappear. But if I do erase, and I'll show you this, you want to do it so lightly that you don't disrupt the sizing on the paper. The sizing is the glue in the paper and on the surface of the paper. And if you erase too hard or too often, you can damage the sizing. Another way to get rid of it is just to brush it away. But we're going to be exaggerating so much of this with our pen, you know, that it's going to be interesting, I think, seeing how it inks in and how it washes in, because it'll be some line and wash. It'll be acrylic. It'll be just a trip for everybody. I hope, I think. I guess we'll see.
We will see.
Okay, so that's how I sketched this in. And this is your weird little patron perk. I know we give you guys weird perks.
It's a good perk.
But you guys really just help us make the show we love to make. And when you see videos on the channel, that's really what you enable, is free art education for people around the world. So I super appreciate it. John super appreciates it.
Yeah.
We'll bring you more tidbits and behind the scenes as we go on this series. I love these collaborative things where, because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this was a collaboration with the community where I put up words and I just painted what was popular. So this is actually part of that series. Check out those polls in the main group. Um, don't name the fairy yet. Wait for the finished painting to name the fairy. You'll probably have the finished painting before you see this video, so you don't need to probably worry about that.
Mm.
All right, guys, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I want to see you at an easel really soon. Bye bye.